What is happening, my YT Gizang? Y'all already know what time it is, man. This is your boy Rio, and today we're going to get straight into the conversation. There are some people that feel like this season alone is very important, not only for Shedeur Sanders, but for Dillon Gabriel as well, in which on the back end, they kind of feel like Shedeur Sanders is an outstanding quarterback. Yes, indeed, they had a whole conversation about how outstanding this man was and the possibilities of him becoming the #1 guy up there in Cleveland. So we're going to talk all about it, man, and then some. So just sit back with your boy and let's get into the sports talk. Now, if you guys do not know about the Pat McAfee show, him and his crew did a whole take on the situation of which they kind of feel like this is a very serious season for Shedeur Sanders and Dillon Gabriel, considering the fact that the Cleveland Browns have 2 first-round draft picks next year. So they really feel like if neither one of those quarterbacks are up to par with their performance, there might be a big chance that they probably going to let somebody go and look into another quarterback next year in the draft picks. But with that being said, they do feel like Shedeur Sanders does have the upper hand in this whole situation, in which they said this man is outstanding up there in Cleveland. Let's take a look at the clip.
I do know that this year is going to be very important for Shedeur and Dillon Gabriel. And the reason is they're both 3rd round and 5th round picks. And if you remember, when we were sitting together at the draft, Cleveland traded back and acquired Jacksonville's 1st round pick and their own 1st round pick. When you have 2 1st round picks of teams that are not necessarily expected to be Super Bowl contenders, quarterback is always going to be looming in every conversation. So I think they're going to want to get those guys action, Gabriel and Sanders. I think they're going to want to have one veteran quarterback. I don't know if there's a value in having both of those veteran quarterbacks and then having 2 rookies on the roster as well.
Cleveland Browns are in quite a situation, and they're paying quarterbacks more than anybody else in the NFL. And quarterback
for the one guy I didn't even mention. Yeah.
Is he? I don't even know if he's in the. Is he in the building? He's not even.
I don't know.
Probably.
I haven't heard his name.
We know who QB1 is going to be in Cleveland.
Who's that?
We know.
They traded for Kenny, so him.
It'll be Hey, I love Dillon Gabriel. I love Pickett. I love Flacco. It's going to be Shedeur.
Day one.
No, by week 8, Shedeur Sanders will be.
Judging by
that sounds right.
Judging by the ESPN.
I mean, I'm dialed into ESPN Cleveland, so I'm watching this. I don't know what the hell those DBs
16
are doing.
of 18.
Yeah, I think I only saw 1 interception from all the quarterbacks. So I don't know what Denzel Ward and the boys are doing over there. But
be careful. Be careful.
I'm reading tea leaves. I'm watching.
What are you talking about, Shrades? 16 of 18.
Dart.
Right?
With that being said, I see some balls coming out of Shedeur Sanders at that game, and I'm like, kind of looks like a guy.
Yeah, I'm reading.
He can sling it.
Read the tea. I see him, some of the veterans, how they talk to him, mic'd up, see what he's doing in the community.
Yep.
You talking about Njoku there?
Njoku, Mike Knapp. Yeah, once you see, different little interactions and things like that, I know he has the talent. We'll see. It'll be a competition that usually brings the best out of guys, especially young guys. So I'm interested to see how that quarterback situation.
I've heard he's been outstanding in the building, and I don't know. There was never no one thought he was this malcontent or like a bag. It wasn't.
That was the word.
That was kind of what was being said. That was kind of what was being said.
No. The pre-draft process was so unorthodox that he didn't go through it all like everyone else did. And I think there's a lot that we can look back on this thing, especially if he becomes a star in this league and say, you could point fingers in a million ways. Not having a pure agent, not having the workouts that everyone else did, going to these teams, not necessarily being as willing to throw the ball when asked at the All-Star games. Like that kind of stuff I think might have stung him and might have turned teams off. But at no point did anyone say he's a bad kid or that he wasn't going to get along with veterans and come. I mean, this is a guy who has been training to be a professional football player since the day he was born and is ready for this moment.
Now, I did cut off Pat McAfee's part and his opinion on this whole take when it comes to Shedeur Sanders, but he was pretty much saying how he heard a speech from Deion Sanders in which later on when he went home, he sat there and thought to himself, Shedeur Sanders been dealing with this his whole entire life. So there's no reason why everybody is saying that this man is not ready. He's not professional because he's been dealing with this and been prepared to be this NFL player for his whole entire life. And to give y'all my opinion on it, I agree with everything Pat McAfee had to say about that situation. I mean, we've all been seeing it since he walked into that locker room. He is focused. He's locked in, bro. Like, he's not giving no attention to any social media mess. He's not giving any attention to the reporters that's coming to him, feeding him negative news or asking him negative questions about like his dad and his former teammates and stuff like that. He is not entertaining or feeding into any of it. And that is what you want to see. That's exactly what you want to see in your future quarterback. Now, speaking and seeing in people, This man, Tony Grossi, okay? I don't understand this man, all right? But he is who he is, and that's all I'm gonna say about him. If you guys do not know Tony, he's always up there at ESPN Cleveland, which they've been going back and forth with this man about him and Shedeur Sanders this whole entire camp, okay? This man just do not see anything in Shedeur Sanders or want to give him any credit. Take a look at this footage.
You've seen some training camp circuses. You were here for Tim Couch. You were here for Johnny Manziel. You were here for Baker Mayfield's rookie year and Brady Quinn's rookie year. What is going to be unique or different about Shedeur in training camp and preseason games?
Well, he's got such incredible fan support that I think if he isn't given any opportunities, the Browns are going to hear about that from their fans. I think at training, when fans attend training camp, it'll be obvious he's the most popular guy on the team.
Jeez.
I could feel that.
The
already.
fourth string quarterback is the most popular guy on the team.
Tony, I feel like
incredible.
you stopped short of saying the fans are going to riot.
No, but I think if they comport themselves like they do online, they may. Because I think there's a natural curiosity, too, even from unbiased fans of the Browns. Like, what is so special? Why does everyone love this guy?
Now, like I said, this is another episode of Tony being Tony. All right. Now, I know it's not a bad take. I know a lot of people probably going to ask, so what is so bad about it? He didn't say anything negative. But the thing about it is, he didn't say anything positive either. There was not one single thing that he said about Shedeur Sanders. He could have talked about his skill set, his talents, him being precise. And then he has the audacity to sit there and say something negative about Shedeur's fans to where he feels like they just might start a riot if Shedeur Sanders don't get his opportunities up there in Cleveland. Now, one thing I will say that Shedeur Sanders is getting opportunities, okay? We've seen him get his opportunities. He got his opportunities to go out there and show what he can do throughout the OTAs and the minicamp in which he showed up and showed out. And to answer the question to why Shedeur Sanders is loved so much and what makes him so special, if you don't understand, which I feel like he do understand, I'll explain. You got to understand that this man has been facing nothing but adversity since he stepped into the NFL world. He's faced it before the draft, he faced it during the draft, and he's facing it right now after the draft. And every single obstacle that comes in his way, he managed to overcome it. Okay, we're talking about a kid that dropped in the draft, not because of his talents, in which he was the best quarterback in my eyes coming out of the draft. Not because of that, but because of his father, who his father is, and what he's going to be coming with. Baggage is what they called it. You got to be kidding me, bro. This is a Cinderella story in the making. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm right here for it. I'm rooting for him, just like all the other Shedeur Sanders fans that's rooting for him. We here for you, dog. We got your back. I promise you. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this whole situation, man. Drop them things down in the comments below. I got to get up out of here. I'm going to get at y'all on the next one.